Okay, I think the numbers of participants has stabilised, so we'll make a start then. So welcome to this workshop, and just to let you know, we are recording the workshop, so people who aren't here can catch up on this. If there's any problems with stuff we've recorded, you've said, just please let us know, but otherwise we'll assume that is okay. So this is the third workshop Clarity has run on machine learning challenges for hearing aids. It relates to the second enhancement challenge, CEC2. And Clarity is a very large project involving lots of people from lots of universities. You'll see them all here, who come from different backgrounds to try and bring together the expertise needed to run these challenges across hearing and speech and machine learning and other areas. It's a 5-year project. We're kind of midway, really, just a bit past midway of the project. And there are supporters who are helping us fund this. And the idea of this whole Clarity project is try and run a series of machine learning challenges to target hearing aid processing for speech and noise, which is a kind of key problem we're facing. So the background, if you're not familiar, if you don't come from the hearing aid background, is that hearing loss is a very common thing. There's 430 million people currently worldwide with disabling hearing loss, according to the World Health Organization. That's growing because of the aging population. It's going to more than double by 2050. And across the world, only 17% of people who could do with hearing treatment, like a hearing aid, actually get it. There's a variety of reasons why that happens, one of which is that people don't feel that hearing aids provide enough benefit. What we've seen alongside this sort of kind of growing problem of hearing loss is we've seen a transformation of machine learning, speech technologies and speech processing through machine learning. So the whole idea of Clarity is to bring together the communities of speech processing, speech technology, hearing science, machine learning, to try and see if we can make hearing aids work better and get that number of 17% up to something more reasonable. So the whole idea of Clarity is to grow a community that deals with hearing aids and uses modern machine learning or signal processing methods. So we've got a whole series of challenges. So the one you're going to obviously hear about today is the second enhancement challenge. That's about making the processing of hearing aids work better. But I would like to sort of kind of advertise, we have an ICAS challenge, which literally launched, I think, 2 weeks ago, which is quite similar to CEC2. It's a slight variation on it. One of the variations within it is it's dealing with not just speech intelligibility, but also improving speech quality. So I'd encourage people involved in CEC2 to get involved in the ICAS challenge, which will go towards a special session in June in ICAS. Just look on our website and you'll find much more details on that. But we will be running another of our own enhancement challenges in 23. Alongside these enhancement challenges, which are about the processing on hearing aids, we also are trying to improve the evaluation of how well hearing aids work, in particular the prediction of speech intelligibility and objective metrics that will do that. And just to sort of kind of advertise again, we have a prediction challenge coming up that will be launching in February or March next year into improving the prediction of speech intelligibility. So give you a sort of sense of where we are. We had 8 papers and 1 invited talks from 41 authors to this virtual workshop. We've got 172 registered attendees who I'm sure will be dropping in and out depending on which time zone there are. And it's about 2/3 of those people are from university or academia. So we've got people joining us from 6 continents and 26 countries and a slight time zone problem. I hope this morning is okay for you, but wherever we put it, it's always going to be a bad time for someone. And to give you an overview of the programme, this is the welcome. I shall finish in a moment, pass on to John, who will be giving us an overview of the results. We will have 2 sessions, one at 9:40 and one at 1 o'clock, which is basically presentations from the challenge entrants. We have an invited talk, which is going to be fascinating, looking at listening tests and ecological validity around lunchtime. We also have a discussion session, and of course we have the all-important prizes. All the timings on here are UK timings. So we have prizes which we'll be handing at the end, which are very kindly funded by the Hearing Industry Research Consortium. And we also have a discussion session, and we'll introduce this a bit more after the keynote, but just to prime you to be thinking about this, one of the things we're always thinking about the challenges is how do we make them as close to real life as possible, make them ecologically valid. And therefore, we'll be asking you some questions about how could we make the next challenges more ecologically valid. More to follow on that after the discussion session, after the keynote. When you want to ask questions during talks, there's a couple of ways in this Zoom webinar. Don't put it in the chat, put it in the question and answer part, type them in there, and then whoever's chairing will make sure these questions get picked up if we have time. Alternatively, you can raise your hand. That will then allow us to unmute you and give you a chance to actually ask verbally if you wish as well. So there, back to the programme order again, and I'm now going to hand over to John Barker to do the overview of how people did in the second enhancement challenge, CEC2. Over to you, John.